Welcome to Bracket 1 of the 2014 Parkland Challenge. In our first match, Muhammad Seymour defeated Leroy 430 to 170. Our second matchup finds the Hawks from Prairie Central against the Maroons from Champaign Central. The winner of this match will take on Muhammad to determine who will be our Bracket 1 champion.
Jonah Summers, 12th grade.
Nathan Summers, 10th grade.
Basil Johnson, 12th grade.
Dan Smith, 12th grade.
Ken Stetson, 12th grade.
Jalen Brauman, 11th grade. Kieran Krenz, 12th grade.
Brent Burton, 12th grade.
Bjorn Johnson, 12th grade.
Priya Jan, senior.
Emily Madden, sophomore.
Julia Polk, sophomore.
Holly Trent, sophomore. Nancy Hong, freshman.
Okay, great. Let's go ahead and get started with round one. What song was the Navy band playing at Pearl Harbor when the Japanese attacked? Priya.
The Star Spangled Banner.
The Star Spangled Banner is correct. JFK was obviously about John F. Kennedy. Who starred in the film? Jonah.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner. In which U.S. state did the Wright brothers first begin their work together? Jonah.
Ohio.
Ohio. What long-running television show was about a mobile army surgical hospital? Nathan.
MASH.
MASH. What Wisconsin native and Illinois resident said, "Give me the luxuries of life and I will willingly do without the necessities"? Nathan.
Hughes.
Not Hughes. He answered Hughes.
President Reagan.
Reagan.
No, Frank Lloyd Wright, the architect. What playwright is known for such works as Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, The Zoo Story, The Sandbox, and The American Dream? Nathan.
Ibsen.
Not Ibsen.
Smith.
Not Smith. Edward Albee is the correct answer. What show did the Colbert Report spin off of? Basil.
The Daily Show.
The Daily Show, correct. What is the textile fabric made from regenerated cellulose? Correct answer is rayon. Who was Clark Kent's most famous girlfriend? Priya.
Lois Lane.
Lois Lane. What patriotic song did teacher Catherine Lee Bates pen in 1893 after viewing Pikes Peak? Priya.
America the Beautiful.
America the Beautiful. Which opening regulates the amount of light entering through the lens of a camera? Priya.
The pinhole.
Not the pinhole. You guys can confer if you want.
Is it the shutter? Yeah. Is it the shutter?
Not the shutter, the aperture. What we're looking for. What beloved Christmas song by What beloved Christmas song by Irving Berlin was introduced by Bing Crosby in the Priya.
White Christmas.
White Christmas. How many of the average adult's 32 permanent teeth are molars? Basil.
8.
Not 8.
16. It's a bit much. It's not half.
I don't know. 16.
12 is the correct answer. Assuming you have them all, it's 12. Which treasure state, also known as Big Sky Country, was admitted? Nathan.
Montana.
Montana. Good job. Who wrote Franny and Zoe, Raise High the Roof Beam Carpenters, and Catcher in the Rye? Nathan.
Salinger.
Salinger. What ocean is the home to the Mariana Trench? Jonah.
Pacific.
Pacific Ocean. It's near Guam. Who wrote the short story To Build a Fire? Priya.
Frost.
Not Frost. You guys can confirm?
Jack London.
Jack London. What movable toy is the center of a museum in Strasburg, Pennsylvania? A movable toy. Priya.
A pendulum?
Not pendulum.
Pez?
No, it's a toy train museum in Strasbourg, Pennsylvania. Name the Oscar winner who did one-arm push-ups on the stage after his victory. Correct answer is Jack Palance for City Slickers. He's very old, and I can't do that, and I'm just kind of old. Which bone is not found in the pelvic area? Coccyx, ilium, scapula, or sacrum? Holly.
Scapula.
Scapula. Which German automobile company has a prancing horse on its emblem? Holly.
Audi.
Not Audi.
Ferrari.
Ferrari, nope. Porsche. The answer we're looking for. Fort Christina, built in Delaware in 1638, was named for a queen of what country? Fort Christina. Priya.
Denmark?
Not Denmark.
Portugal?
Sweden was the answer we were looking for. What twin cities in Japan were largely leveled by a 1920... Jonah.
Okinawa and Fukushima.
Not Okinawa and Fukushima.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Should I say it?
Wait until I finish.
I can read the whole question, yeah. What twin cities in Japan were largely leveled by a 1923 earthquake?
Oh, good thing I waited. Tokyo and Okinawa.
Tokyo and Okinawa.
No, Tokyo and Yokohama. Okay, it's time for this round's video question, and Champaign Central gets the first round video question.
Hi, I'm Dean Geiken, Director of WPCD 88.7, the radio station here at Parkland College. Here's my question. Although there are a few exceptions, a radio station with call letters beginning with W indicates what?
Whether you're on which side of the Mississippi River.
Oh.
So it's either east or west.
W.
I'm guessing. Is it west?
We're on the east side.
Oh, what do we have? And let's say east. Okay, say east. Yes. Okay, that it is west of the Mississippi.
The answer is, stations east of the Mississippi usually begin with W, while stations west of the Mississippi usually begin with K.
Okay, we're back for the second part of round one. In 1789, what fall holiday became the first U.S. holiday designated by presidential proclamation? Julia.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. What's the positively charged particle in the nucleus of an atom called? Priya.
Proton.
Proton. The top sitcoms of the 1980s were The Cosby Show and what show set in a Boston tavern? Jonah.
Cheers.
Cheers. How many bones are there in the human wrist? Priya.
3.
Not 3.
12.
12. No, the correct answer is 8. I like how you were actually counting, though. That was very nice. I like that. What is the marshy tract of land that is mostly underwater and covered with tall grass? Priya.
Savannah?
Not a savanna.
Estuary.
No, it's actually an Everglade. What power ballad played during the last moments of the series finale of The Sopranos? Nathan.
Don't Stop Believing.
Don't Stop Believing by Journey. Springdale, Arkansas hosts an annual sundown-to-sunup singing of what type of music? Jonah.
Bluegrass.
Not bluegrass.
I didn't even hear the questions.
Springdale, Arkansas hosts an annual sundown-to-sunup singing of what type of music?
What name type of music?
Folk.
Not folk, gospel. what we're looking for. In what city can you visit the Topkapi Palace, the Blue Mosque, and the Hagia Sophia? Julia.
Istanbul?
Istanbul, yes. You did that with me pronouncing them incorrectly, too. That's very impressive. Odessa, Texas has a replica of what famous Shakespearean theater of England? Jonah.
The Globe.
The Globe. Who earned the nickname Angel of the Battlefield in 1864? Emily.
Joan of Arc.
Not Joan of Arc. Angel of the Battlefield in 1864.
Clara Barton.
Clara Barton. What Nicaraguan freedom fighters did Ronald Reagan call the moral equivalent of our founding fathers? Priya.
The Congress for Freedom?
Not the Congress for Freedom.
No answer.
The Contras was the answer we were looking for. Name the speed skater who got to compete in Europe after the Champaign Police Department raised money for her. Priya.
Blair?
Yes, Bonnie Blair. Champaign native. What western state is probably less than thrilled to be known as the Vermin State? Nathan.
California?
Not California.
Well, they'd be happy that we don't know. Nevada or Montana.
Wyoming.
Not Wyoming. New Mexico has the dubious honor of being known as the Vermin State. What three planets in our solar system show signs of oxygen in their atmosphere? Basil.
Earth, Mars, and Jupiter.
Incorrect. Not Earth, Mars, and Jupiter.
Earth, Mars, and Venus. Venus. Not Mercury. Venus.
Okay. Earth, Mars, and Venus.
Earth, Mars, and Venus is correct. Okay. That's the end of round one. We'll be back with the lightning round right after this. Game two's off to a great start as Prairie Central leads Champaign Central 120 to 110. Lightning round, you can't steal, but you lose 10 points if you get the answer wrong. Here we go. What color is topaz in its purest state? Holly.
Yellow.
Not yellow.
There's no stealing.
Oh, you're correct. That's good. The correct answer is it's colorless. Oh. What does an ornithologist study? Jonah.
Birds.
Birds. Who is facing away from Jesus in Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper? Basil.
Judas.
Judas. What company did Craig Newmark found? Emily.
Amazon.
Not Amazon. The answer is Craigslist. That's why his name is Craig. What country did Saddam Hussein declare was the 19th province of Iraq? Jonah.
Kuwait.
Kuwait. What Saturday Night Live alumni went on to be the voice of Garfield? Brent.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. I Was a Teenage Grave Robber was the first story by this prolific horror writer. Priya.
Poe.
Not Poe. It was Stephen King. If seedless oranges do not have seeds, how do they propagate? Nathan.
Grafting.
By grafting. Who wrote Robinson Crusoe? Nathan.
Defoe.
Defoe. What was the purpose of the 23rd Amendment to the Constitution? No answers? Jonah.
Voter representation in Washington, D.C.
I think we'll take that presidential electors to the District of Columbia. What animal ends up as a ruler of George Orwell's Animal Farm? Priya.
A pig.
A pig. What kind of car travels through time in Back to the Future? Julia.
DeLorean.
DeLorean. Good job. According to the title, who was a prisoner of
Azkaban. Sirius Black.
That's correct. Thank you for saying that. Nice. What comic strip was the basis for the long-running Broadway musical Annie? Julia.
Little Orphan Annie.
Little Orphan Annie. You guys are really lightning-y. Whose record did Michael Phelps break by winning 8 gold medals in the Olympiad? You answer Mark Spitz. A little before your time. Between what two planets is the asteroid belt located? Between what two planets? Basil.
Mars and Saturn?
Not Mars and Saturn, Mars and Jupiter. In what? Oh, that's the end of the lightning round. We'll be back with the final round in a close game. So far, the battle of the Centrals is going towards Prairie Central, but Champaign Central still has one last round to catch up. Let's get started. In what northern state could you see the world's largest non-living loon? Jonah.
Minnesota.
Minnesota, 20 feet long, 10 feet high, and made of fiberglass. He was an American inventor who was widely credited with popularizing the revolver. What was his name? Jonah.
Colt.
Samuel Colt. Which British author saw one of her books set a single-day U.S. sales record in 2007? Jonah.
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling. A lot of Harry Potter questions. What technology company is headquartered at One Infinite Loop in Cupertino, California? Jonah.
Apple.
Apple. The Khmer Rouge was a regime ruling this nation in the 20th century. Answer is Cambodia. What classic television show had characters named Ralph, Richie, Potsy, and the Fonz? Brent.
Happy Days.
Happy Days. In 1954, who was the first man to break the 4-minute mile? Correct answer is Roger Bannister. Who did the Chicago Tribune erroneously claim had beaten President Truman? Priya.
Dewey.
Thomas Dewey. Tyrone Power and Henry Ford played what two notorious outlaw brothers in this 1938 Western? Priya.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Not Bonnie and Clyde.
Gunsmoke.
Not Gunsmoke. The correct answer is Frank and Jesse James. The movie was called Jesse James. Despite its name, Mount Washington is actually the highest point in the Northeast and is located in which state? Jonah.
Oregon.
Not Oregon.
Northeast, you said. You say northeast. New Hampshire. Vermont.
Not Vermont, New Hampshire. How many major islands are there in the Hawaiian Islands? Brett?
8.
8 major islands and 124 islets. What holy day celebrates Jesus' entry into Jerusalem on the back of a donkey? Holly?
Palm Sunday.
Palm Sunday. What is the name of Thomas Jefferson's home? Jonah.
Monticello.
Monticello. What clef does an alto sax player read? Basil. The treble clef, correct. What occurrence happens in the 7th inning stretch during a Milwaukee Brewers baseball game? Correct answer is, Nathan.
They sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game"?
No, they have a sausage race. Bratwurst, Italian sausage, Polish, chorizo, and a hot dog. What candy bar consists of nougat, nuts, and white chocolate? Priya.
A Mars bar?
Not a Mars bar.
Payday?
Not Payday. Zero bar. Zero bar. I think they still have those. Which animal was also called the bamboo bear? Basil.
The panda?
Great panda, yes. How did chimpanzees greet one another? By shaking hands, stomping on the ground, or rubbing their noses together? Priya.
Stomping on the ground.
That is incorrect. You guys can conference here.
Rubbing their noses.
Not rubbing their noses, shaking hands, actually. What continent boasts the most telephone lines? Nathan.
Europe?
Europe. How many lines comprise an English Shakespearean sonnet? Priya.
16.
Not 16.
Yeah. 10?
Not 10, 14. America's oldest English colony, founded in Virginia, has nothing. Nathan.
Jamestown?
Jamestown, settled in 1607. Quantico, Virginia has the largest base for which military branch? Priya.
The Navy?
Not the Navy.
I'm sorry.
The Coast Guard.
Not the Coast Guard, the Marines.
Used to be part of the Navy.
What nation's Catholics saw the Pope make a triumphant homecoming in 1979? Craig, Jonah.
Poland.
Poland, home of John Paul II. What popular NBC television show starred Tina Fey and Alec Baldwin? Nathan.
30 Rock?
30 Rock. What parade held on January 1st, 1954, became the first nationwide television broadcast in color? What parade? Jonah.
Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Not Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
You say broadcast January 1st.
Yeah.
New Year's Parade.
Yeah.
The New Year's Parade.
Tournament of Roses Parade.
Oh.
Parade before the Rose Bowl. Time for this round's video question, and this one goes to Prairie Central.
Hi, I'm Dean Geiken, director of 88.7 WPCD, the radio station here at Parkland College. My question is, the portion of the FM dial between 88 and 92 megahertz is usually reserved for what type of station?
Yeah. Yeah.
Local stations.
The answer is educational. Virtually all college radio stations can be found in this frequency range.
Okay, about 5 minutes left in the game. Let's get going. Within 5 years, what year was the famed Chicago fire? Priya.
1905.
Not 1905.
1870.
1871 was the right date, so that's within 5 years. Good job. What was the title of Sarah Palin's 2009 memoir? Priya.
Going Rogue.
Going Rogue is right.
Why do I know that?
What weapon does Captain America carry? Basil.
A shield?
Shield. Who's the groundskeeper on The Simpsons?
Willie.
Nancy.
Groundskeeper Willie.
Groundskeeper Willie is correct. What prickly mammal is also known as a quill pig? Nathan.
The porcupine?
The porcupine. The U.S. Olympic Training Center is located in what Colorado town? Priya.
Denver.
Not Denver.
Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs is correct. By which name is the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development better known? Priya.
IMN.
Not IMN.
Oh,
Chase.
Not Chase, the World Bank. What novelist of Westerns went by his middle name since his given name was Pearl? That writer was Zane Grey. The troubled teens of the 1985 teen classic Breakfast Club bond during what event? Basil.
Saturday detention.
Saturday detention. In which ancient Greek work is the Trojan War described? Julia.
The Iliad.
The Iliad. What is arguably the most famous earthquake fault line in California? Brett.
The San Andreas Fault.
San Andreas Fault. What East African country's annual 4% population growth rate is the world's highest? Priya.
South Africa.
Not South Africa.
Kenya.
Kenya. For whose grandson was Camp David, the presidential retreat, named? Priya.
Carter.
Not Carter.
Truman.
Not Truman. Dwight Eisenhower, son of David Eisenhower.
Right.
In what century did the Salem witch trials take place in Massachusetts? Julia.
1692.
Which century?
17th century.
17th century is correct. Who was the first female U.S. Attorney General? Under Clinton, it was Janet Reno. What is the only state with a one-syllable name? Nathan.
Maine.
Maine. What Michigan pathologist invented the thanatron and the mercatron? That man was Jack Kevorkian, the suicide machines. What is the name for the contact area between the two nerve cells in the brain? Basil.
Synapse.
Synapse. He sang songs like Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town, and Coward of the County. But he's mostly known as the Gambler. Can you name him? Brett.
Sinatra.
Not Sinatra.
I don't know. No answer.
Correct answer is Kenny Rogers, the Gambler. All right, that's the end of the game. We'll tally up the final score and be right back to tell you who's going on to the next round. Hi, I'm Stan.
I'm Stanette.
I'm Granny, and I'm a friend of Stan and Stanette. We look forward to meeting all of you this year.
We're the Human Simulators, and we're here to help you learn critical thinking skills so you can provide excellent care to your patients no matter what health profession program you're in.
I live in H-Wing on Mattis, and I hope to get to know all of you throughout your educational endeavors at Parkland.
Prairie Central defeats Champaign Central 410 to 160 to move on to the Bracket 1 Championship to take on Mahomet Seymour. We'll be right back with that game.